What is going on, guys? Marcus here with the Reformation Woodshop. In today's video, I am going to be showing you all the things you need to know about the Graco Magnum X7. Before we get into this video, I want to say a big thank you to Graco for sending me this sprayer. I want to be fully transparent. I'm not being paid to say anything that I'm going to say in this video, and if I hate it, I will say that. In past videos, you've probably seen me use the Graco True Coat 360. I really enjoyed that gun. I've used it on several projects that have come across my YouTube channel. Now that my wife and I do remodeling, we know how important a good sprayer can be, so I'm hoping that this model will be really helpful in spraying houses that we're working on. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and let's get to it. I thought there was going to be parts and pieces and all kinds of crazy stuff that I'd have to do. Done! Well, this is the Magnum X7. This is a true airless spray gun. This model is rated for interior and exterior use. It's really helpful whenever you're outside because it has wheels. You can roll over tough terrain. Just a few things you need to know out of the box. This machine includes a 25-foot Duraflex hose, an SG2 spray gun with an in-handle filter, 515 true airless spray tip for paint, pump armor storage fluid for when you're putting it away, you can keep it from rusting, and it's got a quick startup guide included in the box. With this machine, there's no thinning of your paint required. Inside of this beautiful box, there is a stainless steel piston pump that delivers 3,000 psi of pressure, so nothing is going to get caught up in there. Graco's tips have soft spray technology, which means there is minimal overspray. Whatever you're aiming at is what you're going to spray. On the machine, you have an adjustable pressure control, which means you can spray more paint or less paint, depending on where you're at and what you're doing. It comes with a flexible suction tube so that you can spray paint directly from a 1 gallon or a 5 gallon bucket. So enough talk about this machine. Let's get it set up, ready to paint, and let's start painting. Alright, so every machine that you get is going to come with an oil that's inside of the machine that prevents it from rusting and all kinds of stuff like that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is clear that oil from all of your hoses. The way you're going to do that is you're going to want to run water through the machine for about 30 seconds or until you can tell that it's just clear water that's coming out. There's a button on the side over here. That is the prime pump. You're going to want to press that twice. And that just releases a valve in there. And now we turn it on. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get your paint bucket. I've got a 1 gallon bucket here and it works for that or 5 gallon, obviously. I've only got a little bit of painting to do, so the 1 gallon bucket is perfect. You're going to put your suction tube into your paint, take your drain tube, put it back into the bucket, the side bucket. We're going to turn the machine back on again until you see paint draining out of the drain tube. When you put this away, all you do is attach it back on your hose so that if there is any drainage, it goes straight back into your paint bucket. Just attach it right above. If you got some slack up here, it's not a problem. At this point, you're gonna want to get your gun, take your spray tip off, make sure that your valve is set to spray. Now you turn your machine back on so we can prime the hose. You let it run until you know you have paint in the hose. Now that your gun is all set up, primed, all of your hoses are cleared, and everything is good to go, now let's go outside and paint. The area that I'm going to be trying to reach is a little tall for my ladder, so we're not going 10-inch. Dum 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 dum. I'm going to use a 20-inch extension and reach up there. That way we don't have to spray from a distance. We had already started putting a coat on the house. We didn't get the high spots on either this side or the other side of the house. Now that I have the Magnum X7, I am going to finish the job that we started a little while ago. If you're rolling around outside, make sure you hook your paint bucket on this convenient hook. That way everything is mobile. Please excuse my painting technique. I have never called myself a painter, first of all, and second of all, these bricks are very detailed. They're red vertical scored extruded bricks, which just translates to they're annoying. You'll notice when I get to this flat section of cinder block that my technique is flawless. Although we do remodels, mostly on this channel, you're gonna be seeing me do furniture. So I'm gonna take this Graco paint sprayer and see how well it does with a piece that I built. I'm gonna mess with the pressure settings and see if there's a huge difference between spraying something like a house and a vanity. Look at that face. That's the face of a man who's seen something beautiful. Now that I've had all my fun with the gun, it's time to do everybody's least favorite part, and that is clean up. I'm going to take apart all the individual parts that are recommended to take out and clean, and get those cleaned up with some water. After you've cleaned up all your parts and pieces, make sure that you run water through the machine. You don't want paint sitting in there and staying. If you choose to store it away for long term, you want to make sure that you put your pump armor fluid inside of your gun to keep it from rusting or locking up. Make sure you put your switch into the prime position. Now you're going to squeeze this bottle until you can see the pump armor fluid coming out of the drainage hose. That easy. Make sure to add your clamp back on your hose. Alright guys, let's talk about takeaways. First of all, I was really impressed with how easy it was to set up and just spray right on site, right away. Obviously, the first time you break it out, you need to clear the lines, but every single time after, I'm going to be able to spray immediately if it's a clean machine. I really like that I don't need air. That is definitely a plus. Electric, in my book, is the way to go. I really like the coverage that was offered by the machine. It laid on a really thick coat the first time. Graco actually markets and says that this machine is 1-pass coverage, and it actually truly felt like it. It felt really nice. As you saw while I was spraying our remodel with that green, it was not the calmest day. There was a tad bit of wind, and I didn't feel like there was a whole lot to worry about in reference to misplacing paint. Everything that I was shooting was basically ending up on the house, and anything else was dissipating in the air. Things that I wish were a little bit better on the machine: the hose is very firm. It is very rigid. It's kind of hard to lug around. It has to be, obviously, because it's not just a water hose or something like that, or an air hose. It is shooting thick paint that is not as viscous as water or air. They need to reinforce the line and make sure everything is going to be flowing smoothly so that there's no kinks and anything like that. So I understand that and I appreciate that, but that doesn't distract from the fact that at times it's kind of hard to maneuver. And along that same line of thinking, the handle of the gun doesn't really have a swivel on it at all. It stays right in line with the hose. That also makes the hose a little bit difficult to deal with because you can't just easily rotate the gun anywhere you wish. You have to maneuver the hose as well. Outside of that, there's nothing to complain about for me. Maybe after a while, after I use this gun for a few months, I'll have a lot more things to compliment and maybe a few more things to criticize. But at the moment, I really enjoyed using it. It was really fun. And if you have any questions for me about setup or anything that I experienced with the gun, please feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.